Hi, everyone. I'm Annissa, and this is Whale FM's Fireside Chat with Artists. In this show, we talk about everything and anything art and crypto and the NFT scene with designers and creators alike, otherwise known as non-fungible tokens. My guest today is Jatin Pathi. Jatin Pathi is a creative director and experimental artist at Jugaadu.in and the silver winner of the Delhi CG Animation Awards in 2019 for the short movie The River, and has a unique insight into experimenting with 2D and 3D models. Please enjoy. Hi, Jatin. Thank you so much for coming on. And to start us off, I'd
Hello.
love to hear a little bit about your background and how you first got into the crypto and the NFT art scene.
Hello, and good evening, good afternoon, or good morning to everyone.
Mhm.
Thank you for the introduction. And so, how I got into this place in total or art and craft. Well, just like any other artist, I was here when I developed the feeling and got creative with a very young age. I was around 10 when I had this habit of doodling and scribbling over anything and all, and slowly by time these things developed, and I was just sharpening my skills. So after around 15 years I ended up here.
That's amazing. Prior to that, did you have any formal kind of education in the art field as well, especially with 3D and 2D modeling? Because I know that, I saw some of your pieces, even with Javier Rez and even some portraits that you've done. So I'd love to know kind of your background in that sense.
A background in arts, I had done those one of those Adobe associate crafts and certification. What do they say? They say I guess the term is diploma in that. So it was those things that actually helped me gain the position and
Mhm.
all the experience that I currently have right now. And it just keeps on going. I am currently sharpening my skills at 3D
Mhm.
animation and sculpting overall. So just
That's
that's about
amazing.
my education. Rest is all self taught.
That's amazing. Wow. Starting like a self-starter, I guess. Like, when did you kind of realize that you wanted to become an artist? Um, like, when did
Well,
you
I
kind of have
well
that
during
thinking?
school I was one of those not so bright student, but I was actively taking part in things like co-curriculum activities
Mhm.
and everything that the school has to offer. Like if there was a function, or we have to take participation or just go and compete with other schools. So that's how just one thing led to another, and I was just learning and experimenting with other things at that age only. I
Mhm.
was interested in digital stuff so that time, but I didn't had the resources.
That's amazing. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it must be tough. And, I kind of love to understand, like, what was the first piece of art that you created? Because, on ArtStation, I saw that, this piece called Spring and Hope. Was that the first piece that you ever created?
Now, first, those things are the result of countless hours of you know playing with different pieces, like in Photoshop or Coral Painter. That's how. Otherwise, the first art I officially created was for as a freelance artist only. It was some mural on one of those cafes. Not this one. Yeah,
Mm.
this is what I posted on ArtStation.
Mm.
But the actual piece I created, and the main thing, the when I started earning actually as a
Right.
freelance artist, was for some cafe, a non-veg restaurant. So it was just a
Mhm.
doodle of a chicken playing and running around. That
Wow.
was the thing. If I can make an earning out of this, then I can just imagine what you know the lens I can go creating 3D stuffs. I have
Right.
this bad habit of looking at things like, if this is in 3D of, or if I am seeing this, how can I
Mhm.
create that in 3D in my own
Mm.
way?
Wow.
So that's
If
that.
if you were to create, murals now, like, have you done any other mural work now? And would you mint that on the blockchain now? Because I know that, there's only a few or a handful of artists that are actually creating or minting their mural art on the blockchain. So is that something that you would do again, or what are your thoughts on that?
No, I respect those artists who are doing that, but I can't do these again because so many manpower and planning and actual labor can go on to those things. You have to properly create those walls. They just give you a wall. You have to apply stuffs on that on their own, and before that you have to plan how things can go. So that's a lot of hard work and hard work, sorry, and hats off to those guys. That's
Mm.
something that I can't do really.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah. I know, I can only imagine. And, when you spoke about, like whenever you see like something like a 2D object, you're always thinking like, how can I make this 3D? And, some of the first experimentations that you've done was a war caravan. And it was with, the artist Javier Rez, and I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of his work as well. And, it's like his designs are so intricate, it's like even the pen lines, like how did you kind of translate that into 3D, and how long did that process take? And how was that collaboration process?
First of all, Aver Aries is a really talented and excellent craftsmanship skills. He has, like, hats off to that guy. And the story about
Mm,
this war caravan is pretty funny. I was, always when I started into Maker's Place about an year ago,
mm,
I received an email. I just applied. So during early 2019 and mid 2019, sorry, 20,
mhm,
Aver Aris was one of the most famous artists on Maker's Place. He was always on top, and I
mhm,
was like, man, these creations just take me back to my childhood. Like, these are simple
mm,
doodles I used to, just lay down and draw just like this. Not like, professional type, but just doodle and used to play, like, adding details like this particular thing as this, or just drawing a house and that house as this. So I was
right.
really inspired by, I was inspired again after seeing his artwork. So the
Mm,
funny story is, I was just, going through his site, like, man, that's awesome. So I was just going through illustrations, and I saw the war caravan, and I was like, man, this is good. And I said, I have a bad habit, like just I mentioned it a while ago, that if I see something, I have this bad habit of wanting to create it in 3D.
mm,
So I just copied that image, the link, and I just send him over randomly on Twitter to him. Like, it was a shot in the dark, and I
mm,
asked him, "Can, dude, I really admire your work. Can I create this on my own as a 3D for time pass?" This was really
mm,
for, fun practice, because, I just, this is something that I just wanted to create. It was like a toy, literal toy. Like, there's a
mm,
tiny tractor, there's a tiny house, there's
mhm,
a tiny, everything is tiny, tiny train, and
right.
there's a cannon. So he just said, if you're creating this, just give me credit, and if you want to mint those, just mention me. I was like, man, I had no intention of actually minting on, earning something from
Mm-mm.
this. But one thing led to another. I was like, man, seriously, I can mint that. We can, collab or something. So he was like, yeah, okay, I'm cool. So, that's
Mm,
after
wow,
this work took around 2 months or 3 months, I guess, because
wow,
this was actually hard. The textures you see on the train and or everything, even on the ground, be it
right.
on tire or this, per se, what do we say this, the machine gun, everything is hand painted by him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all the things that you obviously created by me. But thinking of a plan, ideas can come, and the main problem is executing the idea. How you execute the most simplest or the most difficult things, that they actually come out alive. So after 3 months, this was complete fine.
No, this is like an extremely ambitious project to take up, because even like looking at the draft, like the original sketch, like the
Mhm.
intricacy is insane. So it's just like, I can't even imagine how much time you spent on this. And you mentioned like making it alive. So, it's easy to create, I'd say like, a lot of people, they kind of, I know that, you made this all by hand. And a lot of people use models nowadays when they create 3D art. And
Mhm.
so would you say that that is a kind of the difference in creating like art that kind of moves and have that movement, and how do you create 3D art that has that kind of movement instead of just being static?
No, this was Avir wanted this to be animated, but he mentioned about animating this at the very end. But
Mm,
I created this from scratch, thinking about to be static only, like how I can actually make this uh, same as the original illustration. So that was
right.
the idea. It could have been animated if I had known that he wanted this to be an animated piece, like the
Mm,
train moving and all. And the reason why this took 3 months was, I actually created a hyper realistic version, but it
mhm,
was not appealing much. Like, Aver has so many contacts with collectors, so he just showed it to others, and they were, in the NFT space, if someone
mm,
wants to buy anything, they just want that to be, kind of matching to the original. But
Right.
the hyper realistic version had, gold platings and actual woods in it, not actual texture, sorry, and all the trees and all. So he was like, he's not able to see the 3D artwork
Mhm.
as similar or, visible as the illustration. It was just, apart, what do worlds apart. Like there's a white paper and then there's a full
Mhm.
3D model kind of looking realistic. So that's, it was just a headache, but it
Mhm.
was a fun thing to do.
No, 100%. I mean, if you were to create, or choose another piece of Javier's work, because he's published quite a few recently. I think his most recent one was a Bitcoin one.
Hmm.
Would you consider, making other 3D models? Because I would love to see them kind of come into life in the 3D world. And even, like you said, like the hyper realistic one that you can kind of move around
Hmm.
and which that is insane to me still. I love playing with those because like you said, it's like a miniature toy. And so, what would you kind of do differently if you were to do another one? And which one would you pick? Which piece of his work?
Of course I can, and the one I want to create is the, the I don't remember the name, but it was, about the size. It was 7 inches wide, 7 feet wide, or 8 feet wide. I don't really remember the name, but it was showcased recently.
Is it the football one? I think it was FIFA, right? I think it
Not
was
football
right?
one. That's there's another one which showcased the city from the, uh, bird's view perspective.
I see, I see.
It's so damn huge. It's a whole city, and the details are, just crystal clear details.
Right. Yeah, I can't imagine how many months it would take you to create that. But even like,
Even he took so many months to create those
yeah,
that single piece. It was
yeah.
like 7 feet or 8 feet wide.
It's insane. It's absolutely, absolutely insane, but it's beautiful, and it
Yeah.
shows. Um, yeah, and speaking of like your experimentation, experimenting with both 2D and 3D. I remember reading on Twitter once, you wanted to kind of pose this experiment. It's like, do people actually buy art for the art, or do they buy art because of the artist? And I know that you created like, like some of the pieces. I think in pack style, and I thought it was amazing. Seeing on Makerspace. I'd love to kind of know more about that and what your findings were kind of in that creation process, because a lot of these artists, they're conceptual artists. It's about the concept, like, what kind of booms, like what stands out, and so I'd love to kind of see your findings on that after experimenting.
Yeah, the experiment and the result of the experiment is that collectors actually prefer investing in a popular artist, because
Mm.
when they are investing in a popular artist, that's the one, Void and all.
Yeah.
It's, I won't say Park is an exceptional artist. He's
Mhm.
so, like I was saying, the thinking of an idea and then executing is just way too different. And if you are able to execute it, then you are truly an artist.
Right.
So
No.
we can say that, like newcomers say that it's Park's work. What's so special about that?
Mm.
If it's so simple that the guys who are saying this, you should have come up with this idea, but we can't. There are so many things. That's why I created an a whole another series that you can
Mhm.
say looks like Park, but just because it's white and all. Well, actually, that's that. It's white and
Mhm.
black. That's why,
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
people might resemble it with Park.
Right.
And there are so many, like Hans. He's also, his artwork also go from black and white and grayscale. So it's just about collectors prefer investing, not buying.
I see. And speaking on like, the white and black and like the project that you created recently, could you tell us a little bit about that and how you got the idea and when is this launching? Because they look insane. Even like the just looking at this, the colors and the loops, they're insane. Look at that.
Yeah, the idea behind this was, I wanted to actually fool people. Like from a normal preview, they'll see that it's just a, circle. Or on the top, my favorite is hexagod, the top one. Just scroll it. This one, hexagod. It may look like a square, but actually it's a whole hexagon. this is not square at all. I was just playing with perspective and everything, shapes and mathematical signs, like this has to be 2, so the other one has to be 1.8, and
Mm.
decreasing and all. So at first glance this may look like something else, but it's not. So this is what I was playing around.
So what is the concept for this collection?
Concept is just simple illusion.
Mm.
This like this piece, I named it her soul, because just a joke, like every girl's soul is dark. So every frame, if you're gonna pause it, every single frame has to offer you a unique shape. Like at the end of the shape you will just see simple lines going on, actually, and in the bit in somewhere between you'll see Batman logo coming out
Oh,
and
there's a
all.
Batman logo as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of those drawings that they have in psychology. It's like they have those different splatters and paints, which is insane.
Hmm.
In the end, at the end, it's like this like DNA like hexagonal
This is
structure.
something else, like
Yeah,
what you see is not actually there.
the final form.
Hmm. So this
This
may
is
look like an infinity sign, but it's not.
this is insane. And how long did this take you to build? And even with the textures and everything, like how did you get them right? Like I know that you made them purposely not like perfectly lined, like just so that there's a bit
Yes.
of texture in the light. Like how do you kind of like determine like like how when do I stop and when do I start? Like how do I do that?
I started this with a single cylinder, and actually I've wrote about this in my Medium, so that
Mm,
people can try these out themselves. And the thing you are seeing this, the texture, they are not
mm,
single texture; they are the render passes
mm,
combined together in Premiere Pro. So this is why
right.
they are so seamless. The textures are seamless. Yeah, even only the thing you can see, cutting will be in the middle of these, which is at some point hard to see. And I
Mm.
just combined them, calculated which angle would be perfect. And well, it was 90 degrees, it's obvious, but it may not look like it's 90 degrees, just going up and down, up and down, and up and down.
Yeah,
So
this is
this is what I
extremely
was playing.
intense. Yeah, this is extremely attention. Like in
Hmm.
terms of experimentation, is there anything that you would love to experiment with in the new future that you haven't with in terms of 3D modeling? Because like there's digital art is still such a new concept to people. There's so much to explore. Like what is the next thing that you would kind of want to work with or try out? Because like looking at your makerspace like profile, like it's very, very diverse. You have all different types of art. You've
Hmm.
experimented with collaging and things like that. So I'd love to know what's your next idea or
I just can't sit with a single style. That's it. I
Mhm,
if I have my eyes on something and they are appealing, I just have to find way to make it better. Not better, if not better, then at least try to make those things myself. Like, I am seeing something like, yeah, I can do that. So it's just a challenge for myself. I like to challenge myself, like if I am able
mm,
to do these, and 99% of the time I'm able to achieve that what I want. uh, this one is like you can unique. It's not, I think it's, I have not uploaded those on the site, but these
mm,
cubes, I have created another version with CryptoPunks, where
mm,
at the starting you will just see a single white field.
right.
But as the videos goes by, the cubes will be revolving, and it will be taking out the CryptoPunk emerging. I'll just show it to you in a second if you
Mhm.
guys can see. But yeah, that's that. I just want to, if I am able to see something, I have this, again, bad habit to create that in my own style.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. Like these optical illusions are I don't see a lot of optical illusions in this space, so it's amazing to kind of have that presented. Are there any artists in this space other than Javier Rez that you kind of would love to collaborate with in the future, or you kind of admire or look up to, or in terms of style, like you would even like try to like mimic or try to make that into 3D format when originally it's like 2D?
George Boya,
Mm,
his mecha style is so damn awesome.
right.
Again, like I am sitting in my childhood memory, and I am seeing Transformers and all, or the old style one, not the
Mm,
current version. and the mecha and all, the sci-fi stuff, like the
Right. Oh
background
yeah, yeah.
and the simple, I actually have some idea how he create those things, but I don't have the willpower to create again, because lot of hard work goes in that, and I'm afraid,
Mhm.
like, I'll just end up failing.
Right, right. Yeah, I know what you mean. And something I'm really curious about, where you are now, like, in your circle, do many people know about NFTs? And are there a lot of crypto artists with where you are? And if so, how do you kind of get these inspiration for to do these works, or like where do you even like get these inspirations from? Like some people listen to music, some people watch videos to get, a vibe or a mood, how do you capture that?
For me, inspiration is everywhere. But
Mm,
if I have to create an artwork, I just look at things like, famous artists in the crypto space or just on
mm,
Instagram. But nowadays, Instagram is beyond repair. So I just, look at ArtStation or the crypto art community. There are so many people who are better than me, tons of people out there who are just on a whole different level. So I just look at those creation, and I have the main motivation is that how can I, personally beat these guys, not not personally
mm.
beat actually.
I know
Sorry,
what you mean.
but
It's like if
yeah,
you see a piece of work, you're like, oh,
yeah,
how can I make this better? Or okay, let me
yeah,
try this. And
yeah,
how do I
let me
make this
try
in my
this. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Beat. I have, yeah. So if there's a motion graphic artist are there, they just create those seamless animation loop and all. So I was like, I need to create that. Then I'll just see some other artists creating
Mhm.
2D illustration. I was like, damn, I need to create that, and I just started doodling some other day. Just
Oh my
next day,
god.
one day I'm doing 3D, another day I'm doodling, the third day I'm just scribbling on my Photoshop and Wacom, and I was like, yeah, I need to create that in my own style.
Wow. And so it's like, this analogy of like, if you see a toothbrush and you go, I can make a better toothbrush, and then you just go and make it.
Yeah, and
And
just
dispose of
someone
any
just came up
object.
with an electrical toothbrush.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I kind of love to understand, you spoke about loops and things like that. How do you, I understand, like I spoke to quite a few artists and, they understand how tough it is to make the perfect loop. So how do you capture that timing to kind of make this repetitive loop, and like how you've done in this series especially? How do you capture that
Uh,
timing?
so yeah, like first thing, I'm really bad at maths. So
Mhm,
whenever I have my software open, I also have my calculator open on the side. So I
mhm,
just calculate the x's and all and the time frame, and I just keep on trial. I just keep on trying different timestamp, like be it 60 frames or 120 frames or
mhm,
80 frames, and then the resolution revolution, what, not revolution, the rotation, sorry, rotation of
mhm,
an object. And I just set the axis, and I have to set the midpoint, so everything need to be perfect for a perfect loop. Even the numbers, like, there's things that uh, if it's 1, then it should be 1. If it's
mhm,
1.0001, then it should be 1.0001. That's it, you
right.
can't miss that. And once everything is set, there are chances that after this has been rendered per frame and you are combining it, there will be an error.
Mm,
So after that, I it's okay if I am wasting my time rendering these things just for
mhm,
trial or fun purpose, because at the end I am getting better at this. Like, even after months, I'll be creating something like this. I have the knowledge that I experimented before, like on this part, on this thing, if I am gonna execute this thing, there will be an error, so I am ready to face that error. This
I
is why
see.
everything need to be perfect, and then it's play with the graph editor.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'd love to kind of know, even like how or like what kind of platforms do you use now to create art, and what did you even start with like in the beginning? And what would you recommend new coming artists who are experimental like you and would love to kind of try new things? Like what would you like recommend them to go into first?
First thing, I had no idea about an year ago what this crypto art was. I just
Mhm,
received an email from Roema,
mhm,
Make Us Place. Like, they were onboarding people and artists, and
mhm,
as usual, I thought it's a scam, but I did
mhm,
my research and I was like, okay, this is good.
Yes. Same.
And currently I am working as a independent artist. Like, I am not on platform, and I left Maker's Place, and I just thought I'll just rest a bit, because you have to agree, somewhere artists get stressed. Like, if they see
Mm,
I do get jealous, and I just like, I also have this question, like, why these guys are getting so much money, and they,
right.
while there are so many people who deserve that kind of exposure. So I was just taking rests, and I just decided that I need to, come on something else. Like, then I decided to get on OpenSea, because the new feature came, like, what this the free minting one. So I thought, let's do this, let's give it a try.
Mm,
Hence I created this silent series. And what was the last thing, like, what I have to say to the newcomers who are experimenting? That was the question, right?
yes, correct.
Yeah. So if anyone is out there who is new to the NFT world and are uh, what experimenting things and trying different mediums, 2D, 3D, normal canvas painting, if you're listening to this, just don't compare your progress with someone else. That's
Right.
my number one tip. Just don't compare. They are on a different place, you are on a
Mm,
different place. Their speed, their pace is different, you walk on a different path. So just don't compare and think or doubt yourself, like, what am I doing wrong?
mm,
Just don't do this. You are working hard, the other person is also working hard. It's not
mhm,
luck, it's pure hard work. If you gonna just maintain the pace, don't go slow, don't go fast, don't run, you will exhaust yourself. And like, many people say, fear of missing out. So don't slow
mm,
down, just maintain the pace and don't compare yourself with others. As simple as that. I can't say or that 100% this will work, but if you're gonna follow this, you won't stressed out. Just don't. This place is really good. Don't let one bad day ruin your whole crypto journey.
right. Yeah.
That's it.
100%. I feel like these issues are, not really spoken about, especially, in interviews, like what kind of issues that, artists deal with day to day. Especially, I've heard some artists even say like they have this imposter syndrome, like, oh, worrying about this kind of things. And it's hard not to compare because everything is so transparent out in the open. What are some other issues that you think needs to be addressed in terms of like artists, collectors, and platforms as well that you feel like would be important to share?
uh, Artists, don't first of all, just listen carefully.
Mm,
Don't shill your artworks to anyone's Twitter account who just says, shill me your artwork. Please don't.
mm,
Please, guys, this is so annoying. Those
mm,
people are just milking. They just do that to gain followers and all.
mm,
There's 1% chance that one some of them are genuine. Just don't. You
right.
need to respect your art, and you need to respect your artwork.
Mm,
Just respect yourself. Don't just shill and spam. If you're gonna spam on Discord, it's okay. Just paste
mm, mm,
your recent work in different Discord, but just don't leave your artworks links, platforms link on
right.
those people who say, shill your artwork, shill me your artwork or
Mm,
whatever.
mm, no,
And the other
100%.
thing, don't direct message to collectors. It's gonna backfire.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, no, 100%. And especially, it's tough in this space because people don't realize, there's a significant larger amount of, artists than the collector base in this space. And so, they have this very,
Mm,
very wide, selection of artists. And so, and that's why I said before, you have to be an entrepreneur in this space. If you're an artist, because you don't have an agent, you
mm.
don't have, and you're yourself, like you're marketing, you're selling your work yourself. So it's like, what kind of channels do you recommend people doing that? If it's not shilling or whatnot that has worked for you personally.
One need to be their own critic, one need to be their own PR management team.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
should be your own team,
Yeah.
be your critic, before asking someone else how's this looking. Ask yourself, if you are satisfied this with the outcome, then you can approach other people, like, how's this looking.
Right.
And always take, it's all right to take feedback, and it's all
Mhm.
right to get offended by criticism, but just accept positive criticism. If some people say, like you need to change this, listen to them. They are saying for your own benefit. They are the actual audience you're gonna represent.
Mhm.
Be it
Yeah.
even if they are not collector, they are artists or normal people. It's okay to take feedback from others.
Right.
And if you need to promote yourself, write a story,
Mhm.
tell people about your artwork, the story, or how it was created, or what were the thought process like you had while creating these things, what were the challenges you face before rendering or creating the final output, everything, you hurt your back, anything,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
share. You need to let people know about your presence.
No, 100%. Yeah. I remember seeing this study before. It was like, people, and this goes with like, artists, artworks or even like literature, like publishing papers. It's like if they found out that, people spend, or like even editors, like take like two times more time and effort in marking or correcting or looking into a piece of art or a paper, if the paper or the artworks has something to do with what it means for the person, like life-changing stories, something like that, instead of just like what I've learned. But it's just like the meaning behind it, what it means for that artist, what that means for that creator. So it's something definitely, so I'm really glad that you pointed that out as well. So in terms of like, like during the whale community, and having that socialness in the space as well, because that's very important as well, right? Because this is like a very social network. There's this whole like social layer now with NFTs. And so like, being part of the whale community, how has that affected you as an artist? And have you enjoyed your stay at the art cafe?
Yeah, of course. You can see I'm always there. I'm always active. I'm
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
posting stuff. This is the best thing about art. One of the
Yeah.
best things. Sorry,
Mhm.
because when you are around like-minded people, you will
Right.
always be happy. You won't stressed out about anything, and even if you are, you can talk it out.
Yeah.
What I have noticed is that unlike any other platform of Discord server, if you have a query, you have to wait for the management team of those platform.
Right.
But here, even if there's a normal person without any role, not let's say not even the moderator role, they're gonna come
Mhm.
out and try to help. If
Yeah.
even if they don't know, they will direct you like, here's this thing, this might help you. So
Right.
everyone has a mutual understanding, and this is what the overall NFT community needs. Not just whale, the overall you know the group of people, not DAO, or overall community,
Right. Right.
be
100%.
it the artists, collectors, investors, the platform management, everyone. Just
Mhm.
just don't jump into this space thinking that you're just gonna mint your artwork and you're gonna sell those in 3 figures or 4 figures, and you
Mhm.
just gonna get rich within a single night.
Yeah.
People come here, they struggle, they work hard,
Yeah.
they just juggles through things like, if this is not working, this might, if this platform is not working, this might help.
Yeah, what's funny about the crypto space now is that, the idea of money is really skewed. You see, people bidding like now like 100 ETH minimum on a Beeple piece, and people go, you know what, like, I'm gonna put my piece for 100 ETH as well. But it's crazy because it's not how, that's not how real life works. And so a lot of this concept, this narrative is very skewed right now. So it's important to kind of, make sure to keep that correct perspective and not be, you know, affected by noise, because I say this very often, and like this space is kind of like dictated by noise and emotion rather than actual rationality.
We can't blame people. Over the past many years, artists have suffered.
Yeah.
For some reason, people thought being an artist is a useless job or
Mm.
occupation, or it's so stupid to follow your passion.
Mm.
Artists have suffered for so many years. So the rise of NFTs will be a really, there will be a this will be a huge step
Yes.
in changing the reputation of the whole art and the artist,
Mm.
like what they represent. Not just
100%.
that, because if people will say I could have done that on my own, you are charging way too much. And
Mm,
clients or everything, even if they are freelance, people who are looking for freelance artists, they just have this thing like if they need something from the artist, they
mm,
want it for free, they are not willing to
mm,
pay money.
right,
And I think the people who are bad mouthing about NFTs are one of these same people only, the category of people.
right.
I don't mind saying that, the same category of people, because they can't just accept the fact that artists are, taking their stand, and people are
Mm-hmm.
out there who are actually paying their worth,
Right.
artists' hard work and their years of knowledge and practice and
Mm-hmm.
dreams, they are coming true. And some
100%.
people are not able to accept that. But some artists are here who are just coming here for money. Just it's okay,
Mm,
earn money, but come here, interact with people, be a part of the community, create new friends. You might learn something new. That's the
mm,
least you can afford. Waste time. You are not. You will waste time, but the things that you are getting are for the long term exposure.
exactly. Like knowledge is something that you can, and connection is something that no one can take away from you. And
Hmm.
so that's very important, and I think even in like the latest like Will Shark post, he was like, it's like changing this whole idea of like a starving artist. And I agree with that. It's very important for that. And even like, when you see like these people who design, and you being a designer before, like, I'm sure, when you design things or like even websites or whatnot, like creating like the UI or whatnot, like for websites, they never really put the designer's name even at the bottom.
Hmm.
Like they don't even think about that. But it's
Mention
like,
it.
yeah, exactly. But like a huge reason on why maybe their platforms are even like getting that traction is because of that UI, or maybe because of that picture, the colors, like the creativity that's put into it, and it's overlooked so often. And it's crazy that and I always say, like even with AI, and you see the rise of like generative art, what's something valuable that is going to be huge in the future is human judgment, because that is something that AI and computers haven't caught up with. And when creating art, judgment is very, very important. And so that's something that is why it's going to be hugely valued in the future, and why NFTs are really going to be the next big thing, because it has a lot to do with artist judgment.
Well, honestly, like this is an ever-changing space. You
Right.
have to agree to disagree. This,
Mm,
if you, the only thing NFT rise was from 2020 because of the lockdown and
right.
whole COVID situation, and to 2021 where even tweets are being bought.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't just assume that NFTs will be a thing in 2022 or 2023.
Mm, yeah.
This space will change.
Yeah.
AI generative art, they are huge right now. Okay,
Mm,
art blocks and
yeah.
other things like art breeder, but I don't really consider art breeder as an part of the artwork, because actually
Mm-hmm.
someone else created those things, and
Right.
they might not even know that their feature is being profited by artists. That artists are being benefited by it.
Mm,
So we can't really be sure that NFTs will be strong in
right.
2022 or
Mm,
2023. Who knows? Like NBA Top Shot, the collectible cards are
yeah.
being popularized. Like
Yeah.
Flow just came, and they are at the top, earning
Yeah.
millions every day.
Yeah. They just
So
came in content.
NFTs can be a thing and cannot be a thing, as long as mainstream. This is slowly becoming mainstream, right?
Right.
So there will be, we can assume there will be more things coming in this space. So the artworks might be buried, or just they won't be lost, but they will be buried for sure somewhere in the
Mm.
future.
100%. And like speaking, like, the space moves so rapidly, you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like someone
Mm,
can make a huge move and it's like completely change the entire space. Like you never know. And then something's going to boom that you never expected. Like the $2 million punks, or even like the tweet that just got sold for what, like $2 million, which is absolutely mind boggling and insane. But even though you don't know what the space is going to look like in the next like 3 to 5 years, and not even like the 10 years, where do you want to position yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Or where do you see
I,
yourself?
I would like to see myself as an investor instead of an artist,
Mm,
because investing is better than stressing out. In that way, I can just create for fun instead of
Right.
competing with other artists. And
Mm,
in the future, I think VR will be the future of this place.
right.
Everything
Mm,
will be, I had plans to showcase these models in the VR space, but I
mm.
don't know what happened to the DCL gallery guy. He just went Mia.
I see. Yeah, yeah, and speaking of like, AI and I mean, yeah, sorry, like VR and like AR augmentation, like, like what is something that you would want to like present? Because there's still not a lot of VR and AR representation in this space. I remember there was this artist recently who created like, like the piece of art, like they could measure it, like, expand it and make it smaller so they can kind of fit to see how it will look like in your home, so and like what like Artifact is doing with the shoes and the digital wearables, so in terms of artists, like what, like if you could have even like the caravan, like the war caravan, like just like rolling around the house, that would be absolutely insane as well.
Yeah, that would be epic. I have a dream that one day, even in coming months, some platform or some whale investor will invest in something
Mm-hmm.
where a direct live paintings can be done by artists for fun. Artists will just
Mm,
equip with AR and the what that Oculus or anything, yeah, AR
mm-hmm.
VR headset, sorry, and they
Right,
will just paint and interact with people, have fun, because right now they can't. I am sure people want to meet the friends they have made here. So
right.
a single platform where everyone can just chill instead of DCL or crypto voxel. There might be a platform in the coming months
Mm,
where people are actually not just on desktop but actual VR
mm.
environment,
Yeah, no,
playing
that would
a
be.
snowball fight,
Mhm.
interactive. That
Yeah,
place
yeah,
would be
interactive.
interactive,
That's
playing
exactly.
tags with friends and all.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be insane. And I would I would love to see how that would play out in the future. And especially, with new art that's coming into this space, they're creating this a lot of interactive elements. And I think there was this piece, it's like an async, it was like what like playing poker, but then there's different layers and everyone can kind of chime in and like play.
Mhm.
So it's crazy, I feel like that would be an interesting concept to kind of explore. We touched on kind of being an entrepreneur, being in this space and marketing. What would be your best marketing strategy of choice? Do you feel like art kind of needs to have a shock factor in order to sell? Because I realize or I've noticed that a lot of people in this space kind of use a lot of symbols, like either the Bitcoin symbols or the Dogecoin symbols, what have you, and also or include like just like really gruesome stuff or just stuff you just look at it and go what, so it's like, do you kind of need to have that explosive and shock factor in order to sell, in your opinion, in today's NFT world?
That's tricky question. Some people create controversies. Some people try to start fight with someone else to
Mm,
gain exposure.
yeah.
So I don't know. Different people, different views. So I can't really say anything about
Hmm.
that. It's not even a hit and trial. But if it's you are doing honest work, just chilling in the space and
Mm-hmm.
creating good relationship with collectors, then you are for sure grow. You'll grow effortlessly. But if you just want a quick exposure, so the exposure and the limelight you will gain will be lost as fast as you just gained all those things. Like if you were famous for a week, you will just be forgotten after another week.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I can't really say for sure.
I see. I see. Yeah, and we also have a question from the community. Do you see a future crossover in pieces that have both real world and digital or NFT blockchain elements? He's thinking of the recent Banksy piece that was burned in real life.
Well, yeah, people do that, and
Mm-hmm.
that is actually a thing already.
Right.
So there are so many people who have created on canvas and then animated it, which can be viewed on AR and all, and
Mm-hmm.
they are just creating these as NFTs and selling. So yeah, of course, the crossover is already happening. It's not in the
Right.
future, it's in the present.
Yeah, no, 100%. And especially like, with 3D art and everything, like it's just like we talked about earlier about the interactive work. I know that you've been doing a lot of 3D models as well, but would you ever go back to doing 2D as well? Because some people think like, okay, like 2D art has this personal touch or this like quote unquote human touch to it because it's done by hand or whatnot. What are your thoughts on that? Would that be something that you would want to go back to sometime as well or
Yeah,
explore?
actually, I created the things. Can you go back to my site if I don't know if people will be
Yes.
able to see that? So I created these two things. Wait, blah blah blah. Wait, can I show my screen? Okay, you
Yes. Go
are
ahead.
already,
Yeah.
Okay, I can share that.
Yes, you can. Feel free to.
Just okay. Okay, I have two monitors. What I have to show, I have no idea, but let's go.
No problem.
Okay, so I have some 2D illustration, and the idea was simple. I saw an anatomy book. I just happened to come across that.
Mm,
Like I said, I have to do something about that. So I created this a few months back. This is
wow.
a human heart.
Oh my
It's a
gosh, I love
happy.
it.
It's
It's a
a
happy
really,
one.
yeah. It's really happy. It has so many elements, and the guy is just curious. The tentacles are going over, like they need to explore. The eyes are always looking over things like what the hell,
Mm,
these are blood splatters or red blood cells. The tentacles are clinging over
mm.
the arteries and the mouths. They are just you know they are hungry. It's just a human heart.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. And I love the teeth element too.
Yeah.
It's surreal. And even the tentacles and the bone like segments and I thought they were French fries like coming out of the heart, but no, and it's insane. I love it. This is
Oh,
crazy.
friends, that could have been a really good message. Just don't
Yes.
overeat. Bad cholesterol.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
No, like you
100%.
mentioned it, that's why it came. So this
Oh
is,
my
like
gosh.
I said, I saw some things. I came across a book. There was a human heart,
Hmm.
and just I was just too lazy. Otherwise, I could have created this in 3D. But I just thought, let's create this in 2D, and it was hard because I am not a 2D artist.
No,
And
I
the
would love
other,
to. Yeah, these are insane. I mean, even to like for you to even create them in like 3D, because I've seen your portraits and how well you do them as well. So it'd be insane. Like especially with the veins and stuff. Like I can't even imagine the texture and the shading, like how that would look like, and how do you make
yeah,
that create that movement? You know what I mean? Instead of just
I'm
like a
kind of rusty with 2D, but I just got inspired. I was just hanging around in Art Whip only, Whale Art Whip in that channel. So during those times, a month back, Space and other artists were creating, uploading pixel and 2D
mm-mm.
images. So I just got excited. I have to create. I have to try my own things. I even created a saliva. This guy is hungry for sure.
No, this is crazy. I love this. This is insane. And I love that,
So
there's this like teeth of the background as well. There's just like this fake, not fake teeth, but like when those, like
somewhere
those,
inside the mouth.
yeah, 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 exactly. I love that part. It's insane.
Yeah, so I also do 2D sometimes. And wait, this is also actually 2D only.
Wow, this is 2D. Wow, this is
Yeah,
insane.
I actually have these here. These are 4K images. I was experimenting. These are just brushstrokes.
These are insane.
Yeah,
The
I just,
details of these,
sorry.
the details of these it's
Yeah,
crazy.
so I was, as usual, chilling around. And I just thought, let's make, I did a bit of research, how humans have find ways to what do they say, I don't know, there was a term.
Mm-mm. No, it
So
just
yeah,
doesn't
I
feel
also
like
I
some
also do
smooth cloth.
2D, not just limit myself to things.
Mm,
So this is a video. I don't know what the hell is this. This look cool. So these are simple brushstrokes. I was just
mm,
trying different things. I was like,
yeah.
this is a really good thing. I can do something with this. Let's see what. The system has to offer me, the software has to offer me.
Yeah, 100%.
And when I was done, I was like, yeah, I can finally create a series with this. So I just googled how every emotion has their
Mhm.
own colors, or how people connect colors with emotions.
Mhm.
And they actually look pretty good here. A single line is going straight down
Oh yeah,
different
no,
emotions
it's
and all.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and even like in some series that you created before, I actually wanted to ask you this before. Why is your name I am potato on Twitter? And I because I saw some potato art, um, like on top as well.
I love potatoes. That's it. Everything is simple about me.
Mm.
I just love potatoes. They are the god of vegetables on fruits. Like,
They're on the pedestal. They're on a
yeah,
pedestal.
they are at the top. If you need to make something even better, just add potatoes. If you have something to fry, just add potatoes and
You
cheese in
heard it
it.
here first. You heard it here
Yeah.
first, guys. No, I mean I can totally see this even being a collectible.
Yeah, this is why I created those. Inspired by whale shark, the steampunk
Oh
mask
yeah.
and the glasses, but I was again too lazy in 2D. So otherwise,
Mm, mm.
what's this? Bob Marley,
Oh yeah.
cyborg potato.
Oh my gosh. This is
Everything is
incredible.
possible with potatoes.
That is true. I
Everything.
can see that now. I can
There's a
see that
yeah,
now.
there's a Snoop Dogg potato. Like, what
Yes.
is this? Is as far as human creativity can go. Snoop Dogg potato.
Right, right. And even like before the series, like I saw some like I saw some anime pieces as well. Did you do those?
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
These are actually illustrated by Murata Yusake. He's
Mm,
the illustrator of One Punch Man, and
mm,
the new series was coming. Panels were coming
mm,
every week, and I was like, again, I need to try this. But these are not created by me. I was just practicing and coloring. So
wow.
these are just colored by me. These were hard to create, but the thing that I learned from these are, if I have to someday create a detailed 2D illustration, I
Mhm.
first need to do it in black and white, because once I am doing these in black and white, I have a
Yeah.
better idea about shading. So this
Yeah.
is something that I just discovered out of the blue. This is
Wow.
something after experimenting. I was like, I can either try to draw these or just color.
Yeah, the
So
coloring is insane as well.
yeah,
Wow.
see the shadings and all. The cyborg's eye, the red one. So the
Yeah.
glow, I have to, I'm not sure if you are able to notice the sunlight.
Yeah. 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 The rays. It's
Yeah, so
crazy.
this
It
is
brings
something
so
I
much.
just happened to come across.
Yeah.
The
100%.
the glow is visible, and it's kind of hard to do it in simple sketch. But hats off to that guy. He's so talented, and he just helped me learn unconsciously
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah, just practicing even like light and shading. It's incredible. It's incredible,
Mm.
really. Yeah, and we also have an audience question. How many times do you scratch and restart to finally get the end result for your pieces, and especially Infinity and Mandela?
Those were which Mandela I created so many things there. The simple black and white one, na? Where's
Yeah.
the question? The above, the white one is her smile, and the one, these are actually just changed textures. These
Mm,
are printed by, it took me around 3 days to set things
mhm,
right and render. These are not, obviously, they are now not sphere, these are not cubes either. These are
mhm,
normal lines, and I set them at a distance of 5 on x-axis.
right.
And when these are moving forward, like from one end to another, the
Mhm,
I am also rotating these at 10-degree angles. So 10 degrees forward and 10 degrees rotation on the right. and
Mm,
after a while they just created a perfect circle from one perspective. So
mm,
I just took me 3 days to plan out like which effect will look better.
mm,
Just simple trial and error. After a while, something will turn out to be just the way you want it to be. Like from one perspective, it's looking like something else, and
mm.
from other, it's just a whole different thing.
Yeah. And other than, because especially creating these art, like, that like audio NFTs are also becoming a hit now. You see a lot of like, renowned or renowned like artists coming to the space or even like adding like music to their pieces. Do you think you would dabble into kind of like, the music or text or even video like, types of mediums in terms of creating NFTs in the future?
Nah, I'm gonna stick to art. These are
Mm-mm.
just a whole different things that I might not find it appealing because these are two different variants of art.
Right.
Like one is music, and the other is creating something to visual aspect, like which will
Mm.
look visually good. And audios are just audio. These actually they also take some time to actually learn. It's not that I don't want to try. I can
Right.
always Google, but it will be hard
Mhm.
for me. I'm not just gonna sit like, okay, I can download FL Studio, I can just watch some YouTube tutorials, and I would just mint a audio NFT. That wouldn't be fair because I'm not interested in that thing. These are something that I never thought of pursuing.
No, 100%. Yeah. No. I mean, and I loved for you to, tell the audience as well, for this project that you created. How can they find this? When is the drop happening? And I'm also going to drop the link to the Medium article on It's Not What You Think It Is. Just so that people can understand even better, like if they like reading more and to kind of understand, what was the meaning behind the collection.
Yeah, the main story behind collection is that only that I want people to see a thing that is which may see that it's there, but it's actually not there. Like for the
Mm,
thumbnail, you can see two infinity signs, but we all know they are not infinity sign. These are just one perspective that they are visible in the middle.
100%.
It's actually single thing just going on and on and on.
Yeah, no, these are amazing, and I'm sure that people are going to be very, very excited for the drop as well. And I and I thank you again, like Jen, thank you so much for joining us today. But unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. But it was an absolute pleasure having you, and I hope everyone enjoyed
Yeah,
this.
it was really good. It's always
But
fun to hang out with you guys.
thank you. But just before we end things off, I would love to ask you one more question. If
Okay.
do you have any kind of like sneak peeks or kind of like sneak peeks or hints into kind of the projects that you're working on right now?
Well, I don't know. I applied for Terra Virtua and they,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? They accept me or not?
Yeah, I'm
What do
excited.
you
I
think?
really I
Yeah.
can't predict, but I
What do
think
you
they
think?
did. I think they did.
Yes, they did,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
was accepted into V3 also.
Oh my god.
I Yeah, but these are the things that I can't say about V3, but for Terra Virtua, these
Uh-huh.
guys send me a disclosure form or something. I don't know what they,
Mm,
I forgot, but they send a document that you have to sign and all.
mm.
So I am not sure if I am allowed to talk. I have not signed
No
that,
way.
but I'm not sure if I am allowed to talk. Even I don't want that after months someone will find my
No, of course.
this interview on Whale YouTube and all. Let's say, dude, you were talking about that. This is not
Of
fair. We
course.
are
Of
cutting
course.
contract. Yeah, that they say
Of course.
contract.
No
So I'm
worries,
not
but
sure.
no worries. But congratulations either way,
Yeah,
and I wish you all the best on that. And I can't wait to see all the art that you're going to be producing in the
thank
future.
you, thank you.
And if people would love to find you or would like to check out your work, where can they find you online?
Well, you guys posted my Twitter. Everything is there from
Mm-hmm.
normal memes to talking about all different things that have no connection with anything as usual. And other, I provided the Medium link where I've written a bit about how I created these things. So I would love to see if anyone wanna try those, the things I've created. And if you are able to create something that I have created after reading my article, please do let me know. Mm, tag me on Twitter like you have created this, just so I can see that how
Hmm.
people are benefiting from the things I've provided.
Hmm.
And for the silence series, it was out for a while, but I just wanted it to release it with you guys. Wait, let me find it if I can play it
Hmm.
for you. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I should have sorted these things. What the hell?
No worries, no worries at all.
Okay, wait, I'm sharing my screen. It's all right now. I can share my
Yes,
screen.
perfect. Yes.
Okay, share your screen. All right, this is a trailer.
Wow.
Yeah,
These are insane. I love these.
yeah. So this is the Mandela. It's
Wow.
kind of easy to create. That impossible from a
Hmm.
different perspective. Again, Mandela.
These are beautiful. These are insane. Wow. Wow.
Took me a while to
No,
just
no,
edit the video.
I'd imagine. I'd imagine. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, but be sure to check, his dropout, his drop soon, and as well as remember to check out his material and message Jatin after if the material helped you guys or wanted to chat with, and I'm sure he'd be more than happy to help and to talk. Again, Jatin, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you, and I can't wait to have you on sometime soon again. I can only imagine, the space changes so quickly, and
Yeah.
we'd love to have you on to talk about how that space changed and how your work
Oh,
has changed as well.
thanks for having me. Yeah,
Of
I would
course.
love to help people. It's fun to help. If I am
Mhm.
helping them, they will help for sure. Someone else will benefit, and the number of people who will come to ask my help will be reduced ultimately. That's the plan. As simple as that.
I love that. I love that a lot. All right. Well, that being said, again, thank you, Jatin, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you and welcome. All right.
See you.
See you.